Hey, hey, hey. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. So, I got a little news today. Uh, Nothing seems to be too terrible. George is eating nicely. All right, so let me. Uh, Sorry, got a little new stuff here that I'm working on. This might be too quiet. I got to work on it. Anyways, on to the news. So, the National Football League has decided to table the vote on the tush push. It will not be voted on until May. The Green Bay Packers are the ones who proposed the play, in which the Philadelphia Eagles and their quarterback Jalen Hurts, in particular, have run with great success on short yard situations, although it's been common use probably since the 50s. Essentially, all it means is as a dude is running, he's got to get a yard, half a yard. Um, a large offensive lineman, generally the tackle, will get behind the runner, put his hands on the gentleman's tush, and push forward, giving him extra uh, momentum moving forwards. It is effective because a it's a lot harder to tackle someone when they've got a 300-pound man behind them pushing them forward. But I don't see a reason to ban it. It's not anything that one team can do that another can't. It doesn't risk injuries more so than anything else. It's basically just the Green Bay Packers being butthurt as usual. And the Packers in particular, they are the only team run by a board of directors. To my knowledge, they're a corporation, owned by a corporation. And their go-to since the 90s has been, we would like the rules changed. Back when Reggie White got smacked around in the NFC Championship game by the Dallas Cowboys, Reggie White got on television and cried. Just meh. And they banned the Nate Newton slap. Before this rule change, you could not grab someone's face mask and jerk their head down, but you could deliver a nice firm smack to the helmet. They're wearing a helmet. It's fine. But no, they changed the rules for that. So, do I think this rule change is going to go through? Well, the NFL was heavily invested in the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. And the Eagles won. And they're trying to pin the tush push on the Eagles. And I've got no love for the Eagles or the city of Philadelphia in general. Awful place full of awful people. And their Eagles have the worst fans in football. Worst fans. The only other team that even came close was Oakland, and they don't have a football team anymore. So, yeah. Philadelphia has the worst fans in sports. 60-40, leaning towards it passing, which is a travesty. But we'll see. I have been wrong before. Now, in some good news, this is from Reuters, but it is being reported on by OAN. And a lot of people get a little weird about OAN, but it's Jonathan Stemple from Reuters is the one who has written it. So a U.S. judge has said that several companies, including Walmart, Beech-Nut, and Gerber, will face a nationwide lawsuit that claims toxic heavy metals have contaminated the baby food, causing brain and neurodevelopmental damage to children who ate it. Now, the judge is U.S. District Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley. She was appointed by Joe Biden, which anytime you mention a judge, everyone wants to say, well, who are they appointed by? Relax. She doesn't seem to be a political judge, just a pretty decent one. Now, my thoughts on this are the lawsuit moving forward is ultimately a good thing. It is a good thing because it is going to allow discovery. And for those that like their babies, it's good to have the baby food under stricter regulations. America does have the most added to food in the world, other than possibly China, because they have no regulations. We have regulations, just the people that set the regulations are the same people that make the products that they're selling to us. So, barely any regulations at all. Do I think the baby food causes these issues? I don't know. One side is adamantly, passionately making these claims, and the other side is saying conspiracy theory and comparing it to the anti-vaxxers. Well, I believe thanks to the internet and citizen journalism, we can say, calling something a conspiracy theory doesn't have the same weight that it once did. Claiming, oh, you're a flat earther, doesn't work as well when 75% of the things they called people flat earthers for, they turned out to be right. Yes, you people claiming conspiracy theory on everything have made Alex Jones right on a lot of things. Now take a moment and think about that. You are giving Alex Jones credibility. Shame on you. Alex Jones is entertaining, and yes, he has done some great journalism in the past, but at some point that guy went crazy. He did. He went pretty crazy. But I would like to end with something positive. All right. I love this. It makes me very, very happy. And yeah, I know changes to the system. Japan is just doing something awesome. Trading cards, right? Starring middle-aged men has gone viral in a Japanese town, boosting volunteerism and respect for the elders. This is by Andy Corbley. So they're basically making like sports cards just for middle-aged men, right? So it's the town's older folks, and you can get like basic facts about them and basically somebody was like, my grandpa's really cool, and was hanging out at the old folks home and got to know a bunch of them. So they started making like Pokemon cards or baseball cards, however you'd like to look at it, for the Japanese close to Pokemon cards, right? And it's the town of Kawara and Fukuoka Prefecture. It's about 10,000 people, right? Um, there's about 5,000 homes in the mountains. They are famous for being in a novel, a Japanese novel. Um, but yeah, the young people started a trading card game with the elderly, right? So they're uh, Pokemon like cards for the town's Ojisan, or middle aged community members. And the town's secretary general of the Saidosha Center, the old folks' home, we wanted to strengthen the connection between children and the older generations in the community. There are so many amazing people here. I thought it was such a shame that no one knew about them. So, the trading card game went viral, so many kids are starting to look up to these men as heroic figures. Costs less than $1 a card, or $3 for a set of 5. And that includes one holographic one. The 47 characters include Soba Master, Mr. Takashita, an 81-year-old maker of noodles, and Mr. Fuji, a 67-year-old former prison guard turned community volunteer, whose card is so sought after that kids are asking him for autographs on his card. That just gives a warm feeling, you know? 100 years ago or so, when I was a young Cub Scout, it's what you do before Boy Scouts. We would go to the nursing homes and play checkers, or chess for those that knew how to play, or cards, or just listen to stories and tell them stories about school. And it was really quite, I didn't get it then, but looking back, I see how big a deal it was for them. And 80 years ago, when I was a young teenager, or actually older teenager, I was 19, 18, 19-ish, and my early 20s, I used to teach dance, mostly to young students whose parents made them be there. And you could tell they weren't all that excited about doing it. But I decided, you know what? We need more practice, and we got an extra day, or one of our practice days, instead of just all practicing, let's teach another class. Let's go to the old folks' home. And it is very fair to say that the elderly were not physically able to do some of the faster dances, and they were not as nimble, but they absolutely enjoyed it. And to see people in their 70s and 80s getting slightly dressed up, and let me put on my good shoes and makeup to do simple waltzes. And every week it was just like, yeah, and starting to dance together, and it was lovely. So if you have the ability and the time, reach out to some old folks. While I am at my job, I do try to take the time to be extra friendly and socialize a little more with our senior members of the community, because you will get some wonderfully entertaining stories of things, and it's like, wait, what? That's how that was done? Huh. All right, Miss Nancy. So, back in 1971, you were so drunk that you fell out of your window while trying to sneak out past curfew. Wow. And what were you sneaking out to do? Go to a dance hall? Really? What kind of music did you like to dance to? Wait a minute. I love Smokey Robinson. Come on. It's a nice thing. And there might be a few boring moments, but it will be peppered with crazy stories about people that makes you really look at them differently from the way they were. Anyways, those are my 3 news stories. Baby food should be healthy. Uh, Football should not change rules because someone's butt hurt. And speaking as an old person, we've got fun stories. And not all of us start a podcast to get our stories out, because not all of us are terrible at avoiding everybody in public. Unless I'm at work, then I'm getting paid to socialize. I hope your week has gone well. I hope your weekend goes better. And next week is shockingly fantastic. Enjoy, and thanks for listening to an old man ramble for a bit.